One of the most fun parts about being consul is really that you're the center of attention. Everyone looks up to you and you're in charge. You're going to make decisions and everyone's asking you for what's going on. And if you like speaking in front of people, it's really nice being able to be the center of attention.
I think one of the more challenging things is that you are now the one that people look to in order to know what they should do. Like in the past, maybe when you were a lower ranking officer, there was always someone to tell you, hey, there's a deadline coming up. Hey, how's the planning going on, like Coin Wars or Lupercalia or whatever. But now you're the one who's reminding people of the deadline, so you really need to stay on top of that. And then while most of the decisions that consuls make are in advance, sometimes emergencies will come up, like at states, something might not be submitted, or like, you know, another problem will occur and you need to make a decision on the fly. Sometimes that can be kind of challenging because it throws you off guard.
So when we needed to talk to specific board members, we would reach out to them by either email, Facebook Messenger, or like Google Hangouts. When we needed to take a larger like whole club approach, we could use email. Even at board meetings, we would always check in to make sure everything was getting done and that people knew what was going on and that there weren't deadlines that were passing by without anyone thinking about them.
The main thing is to stay organized and stay on top of the deadlines. It's always a good thing to start planning early because you never know when a date will get changed around or, you know, some surprise will happen. It's also always good to have a backup plan in case someone can't show up or, you know, snow day, weather, whatever. I guess we've talked about this a lot already, but communication is a huge thing for Consul, not just, you know, between the consuls, but also with the entire board, with the entire club, and especially with the sponsors. Sometimes you will, you know, coordinate things among the club members, or the board members, I should say, but the sponsors aren't necessarily in on that. So make sure, you know, CC them, even if you're not sure, CC them in the email so they know that you're being proactive. And then also on the note of communication, you know, checking in with people to make sure they know what their deadlines are, especially for like the big things with like publicity or scrapbook, publications.
Yeah, especially for those long-term things like scrapbook and publications, a good idea would be to make a Google Calendar so that you can see exactly like when you want the first publication to be done, when you want the articles to be done, or when you want like specific parts of it to be done. And this way like everyone can see what's going on, so it's not kind of like we kind of disappear and do our own things and then show up at a board meeting and be like, look what I did. It's kind of more like you're on top of everything the entire way through. Another thing is that you should make sure everyone knows exactly what they're doing from the very beginning of the year. Because, for example, for Club of the Month, there was a little confusion at the beginning of the year of like who would take care of that, if it was the consuls or if it was publicity. So just make sure that you can like at the beginning of the year you go through like all the responsibilities and make sure everyone knows what they're doing, which like is stated in the Constitution, but also just on a more like ad hoc point of view. So like if something pops up that you don't know what to do, make sure someone knows that it's their responsibility to do it.
It's been JC Lit.